Good morning, friends. How are we? We'll wait for you guys to populate. Good afternoon for those who it's actually afternoon. Good morning to those of us who wake up like I do. Welcome to Paranormal Witchcraft. I am Tobias Josephson. We approach the paranormal differently. What you can't see. I got some incense going. We will put that over here. All right. And as always, pay attention to the Ouija board behind us. So, welcome to Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I am Tobias Josephson. Okay. We approach the paranormal differently. Containment over chaos. Okay. And evidence over egos or personality. Good morning, Truth Tarot readings. Good afternoon, Christopher Stant. I should probably say good morning to Truth Tarot as well. Apologies for being late. I woke up late and I didn't realize it was already almost close to 11. I was like, oh shit. I got invited to, it looks like a high school reunion birthday party. And I thought this cat left me like decades ago because of my lifestyle. So we'll see if I go. Somebody who resides in Las Vegas, and I actually shared their book. They actually have turned into an author. And it's been some years since I've seen this person. So go check out that book on Amazon. That is somebody I went to high school with. That is actually somebody I worked with in my teenage years at Jewel Food Stores. And so he's a real cool cat. I like him. Let's get started, guys. The prediction moment when investigators and investigations reveal their personal bias. Morning. Good afternoon, everyone. It had good morning, but it's no longer morning. It's noon. Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Last night and yesterday at 11, we began something different here. Not a ghost hunt, not a spectacle, where investigation behavior itself becomes the experiment. I call this Containment Laboratory. It fits in with our structure: containment over chaos, evidence over egos. Where investigation behaviors themselves become the experiment. Yesterday, we removed escalation. We removed provocation. We didn't use any demanding responses for the first experiment. We didn't use any emotional pressure during that first experiment last night at 8 that most of you probably missed besides these two here. We just used observation. All right. And then we went back and used escalation. We'll do something similar tonight. And something interesting happened last night, didn't it? When escalation stopped, there was no activity. But in our experiment, the activity stopped too because there was no activity. So by showing you guys that and doing it together here, you guys have helped us create a serious question for the rest of the communities. What if investigators sometimes create the activity they think they're discovering? I know, I'll say it again. What if most investigators sometimes are accidentally creating the activity that they think they're discovering in real life? Remember from last night, type calm in the comments below if you believe investigations should stay calm. Type escalate in the comments below if you feel that it should be escalated, because that's the only reason or the only way you can get evidence for your team. Right? We don't care which one you answer. All right, we're going to pose the same question we did last night. We'll post a different question tonight for the next 24 hours. So, what if investigators are sometimes creating escalation and they're calling it evidence? What then? Type prediction if you've heard investigators say something's about to happen. All right, if you've experienced that, type it in the comments. I'll call you out. Chris typed escalation and prediction, and he's not wrong on both. The escalation is a psychological hook. That's why he used the word prediction as asked, okay? Because he's making a prediction that most people around us might be accidentally escalating the investigation, and they sadly think it's data. Watch closely, because the next idea might change how you see paranormal investigations forever. All right. So watch closely for the rest of the live series. The human brain constantly predicts reality. It anticipates events before they occur to us. Inside paranormal investigations, that ability that we each have becomes very dangerous. Because once someone predicts activity, everyone in the room starts searching for confirmation because you just couldn't help yourself. That is escalation. That is not investigation. I'm sorry. It's not evidence. Okay? It's chaos. It's escalation. It's instability. It's irresponsibility. It's immaturity. It's all the above. Here's a question for you again. Have you ever heard someone else, not you, say, "Did you hear that?" Type yes in the comments below if you have. Type no in the comments below if you have not. Even when nobody else heard anything, there's always going to be somebody that says something like, "Did you guys hear that?" And then what happens? Everyone in the room starts searching for what the fuck it is. Okay? That is escalation investigation. You're not going to get credible evidence. Type suggestion in the comments, Chris and others, if you've seen it happen. So if you've seen another investigator, lead investigator, or a team do this, type suggestion. Here's a real world example, or a demonstration, if you will. Here's a scenario. 5 investigators are sitting quietly. They could be us, Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. Okay. One says, "I feel like something moved behind me." Valid question. Who are we to say this person hasn't experienced something? But wait. "I feel like something moved behind me." Immediately, the room becomes tense. People start scanning the darkness. Your brain starts coming to conclusions that haven't even happened yet. Every sound becomes suspicious, dangerous. You start getting amped up. You start getting excited. Your brain and your body start filling in the gaps in the darkness. Every shadow becomes movement. Every shadow becomes aggretory, meaning it's coming after you. In reality, it's not. The environment didn't change. You did. Expectation did. Escalation did. any number of words. Here's a retention reset line for you guys if you're getting bored. Notice the pattern we're talking about repeatedly, repeatedly, repeatedly. Lean in, pay close attention, okay? Think about that. Think about what we're discussing. Think about the things we're pointing to. Think about it. Not me, I already know it. You guys have to think about that. It's for you to decide, not for us, right? This is our framework. It's not going to be for everybody. Notice the pattern we're discussing repeatedly in different ways, all right? Think about that. Something interesting just happened. To expectation. Okay? There it is in plain sight for you guys. So tonight's experiment at 8 p.m., we will test this idea live. All right? It'll be experiment number 2, laboratory experiment number 2, as far as our art goes. Okay? Experiment number 1, again, will be the controlled observation, chaos, or containment over chaos, evidence over egos. No prediction, no emotions, no attacking, silence. Okay? Experiment number 2. We're going to introduce prediction statements and watch what changes, which means you have to come back at 8 o'clock. The script's already done, just in case I run behind. All right? So I'll show you guys that. The script is ready to go for tonight. I'm not going to tell you what's on it. All right? But every one of these will follow the other in pattern, in storyline, and it'll make sense. The next topic, the next subject, the next topic, the next subject, the next experiment, the next experiment, the next experiment. Okay? All right? We will use devices. We will challenge the environment. We will use psychological, emotional escalation. Okay? And we will use our human reactions to the best of our ability to try to attack the device you have behind me, okay? And I have that out of frame, so I apologize. There we go. All right. Final hook for you guys. All right. If activity increases after prediction, if activity increases after prediction, then we may have discovered something very important about paranormal investigations. I invite you back at 8 p.m. tonight, Containment Laboratory, all right, where we will do containment laboratory experiments to test what we have just talked about, okay? And the title for that live is Containment Laboratory Experiment Number 2. Containment Laboratory Experiment Number 2. With that being said, that concludes our discussion. All right. I will now take questions. I will now go to the comments. Okay. All right. And we are set for tonight. All right. Now I have a lot of things in between. That's why I'm setting myself up. All right. Took me a couple weeks to get to this point, but as I get better, I only get better. Okay. So we'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll be wearing another lab coat of sorts, probably the purple one. So Chris has answered all the questions. Containment, ego over chaos. Yes, he did answer calm. He did answer provoke. He did answer escalation. He did answer correctly prediction. He did answer be calm. And truth tarot readings answered correctly suggestion. Hello, and I think I saw another one. And you said back. Okay. So all correct answers. The point is we want people to engage. There's no right or wrong answers. All right. We're not here to attack anybody or call people out. We're not here to create a big debate. All right. Or create chaos over these discussions. Okay. So blessings and blessed be. Merry meet and be well out there. We will see you tonight at 8 o'clock. Blessings and blessed be. Tobias out.